You've heard of regular speedruns, but what about Megastone speedruns? That's a bit different. That's a bit strange. That doesn't really make much sense, does it? Let's get into the Megastone speedrun of Pokemon X and Y by Pulse Effects, which thank you, Pulse Effects, for allowing me to react to these videos. They're fantastic. I really enjoy it. And I love learning more about the different communities that I'm not really in. There's Pokemon speedrunning, not really been a part of that. There's Pokemon VGC, not really been a part of that. And through these videos and through these reactions, I start to learn more, which is very, very cool.
The last thing I expected in a 2024 Pokemon Presents announcement was for Game Freak to tell us that the next Pokemon game would not be a Gen 5 remake. But
that is a bit of a shock though, wasn't it? It's weird. It's been so long. At least it feels like it's been so long. This video came out 4 months ago. It feels like we haven't heard anything about Legends ZA, but I guess because it's not coming out until next year, that does kind of make sense. They want to keep things close to their chest. They don't want to reveal too much too early. They're just making it, which is good because, you know, in the state that Scarlet and Violet released in, it's probably good that they just kind of buckle down, worry about making the game first before they try and market it too much because it's a Pokemon game. People are going to buy it regardless. After the success of Legends Arceus, people like that kind of thing, like the idea of that kind of thing. So people are going to buy it, but you just have to make it good or you're going to get some more backlash like last time.
Instead, a Pokemon Legends game taking place in Generation 6 Pokemon region of Kalos. So with Pokemon Legends ZA being officially announced alongside a small teaser surrounding Mega Evolution, I figured it'd be cool to adventure all the way back to a game invented 10 plus years ago.
Don't say that. No, don't say 10 plus. Oh my god, it's coming up on it's 11 years. Oh, that's way too much. That's too many years. This shouldn't be allowed. Who let this happen? Was it you? Did you let this? It's not very kind of you, is it?
And see the really cool method speedrunners use to obtain every single Mega Stone in Pokemon X and Y as fast as possible.
A Megastone speedrun just sounds fun. I love these weird speedruns, these out there speedruns that isn't just finish the game as quickly as possible. It's, oh, let's do something different. Let's do something wacky, something strange. Collect all the TMs, complete the Pokedex, get all the Megastones, I guess.
Understand the full picture.
I'm gonna guess that it takes it has to take a few hours at least, surely. I'm gonna guess it takes 4 hours. No, because you have to beat the entire game, don't you? To get all the post-game Mega Evolutions or Megastones. So, no, I'm gonna say it takes 8 hours?
Of a Pokemon XY Megastone speedrun, we first need to begin by explaining the requirements around each of these Megastones. Unfortunately for speedrunners, we need to actually end this journey by beating the entire game for a majority of those Megastones. And it's
yeah, you beat the game first and then you start getting stuff. In fact, most of them are restricted to post-game. There was somewhere that you can buy Megastones, which is weird when you think about it. Buying Megastones, I guess it's also weird to just find them out in the wilderness by chance. Imagine going into the field and finding one of the most rare artifacts that can boost the potential of someone beyond the regular margins of what is expected from an entire species. I feel like that'd be rare. So maybe it does make more sense that you find it in a Louis Vuitton instead of just out in the randomness of a field or a cave.
All due to certain Megastones not being available until you upgrade your Mega Bracelet in the post-game. But there are at least a select few Megastones that speedrunners can and will be grabbing while completing the story, which will start this entire Megastone journey off by trying to meet up with and beat the Professor as fast as possible. See,
that's right, because you do get the first Megastone from the Professor because... Is that the end of the game or is it the start? I remember you do get a Megastone from Sycamore, but you only get the Megastone for the starter, the Cantonian starter that you chose. So does that mean you have to play it 3 times in order to get the other ones? It's actually crazy. I'm failing to remember how you do most things in this game, even though I have played through it so many times.
In the way of making it that far is a battle against one of your annoying rivals, a couple of trainers that aren't really worth mentioning, and finally, beating the first gym leader. And because of the order in which a lot of these gym leaders are presented to you throughout the game, speedrunners will need to swap between a total of 6 different Pokemon. If you want
Farfetch? Surely not. No. Chespin is at the end? Wait, hold on, what's going on here? So we start with Farfetch. This can't be in order. Is that Bunnelby? Okay, the Lucario makes sense. It's a powerhouse, it's strong, it'll probably solo the entire game. Holucha makes sense because it has good offensive capability on most Pokemon. The Chespin, I guess you start with the Chespin? Is that why? What's a Farfetch doing
For
there?
full details on this process, I recommend checking out my XY speedrun video at the end of this one. But to put it short and simply, speedrunners will start the speedrun by setting their 3DS to a certain time and date for reasons that I'll go over as we reach them.
Ah, yes. Valentine's Day. 11 p.m. on Valentine's Day, speedrunners start because it's widely known that speedrunners are busy for the majority of Valentine's Day because they fuck.
We'll then move past the intro, grab ourselves chest spin so that our rival does not get an annoying bulky grass type, catch a Bunnelby on Route 2, clear out the forest, and then trade that Bunnelby for a Farfetch, which we'll be using throughout a lot of these battles. Well, Farfetch
What's Farfetch? I mean, I guess it makes sense in the first gym, but the second gym, I don't know.
might seem like a really weird Pokemon.
That seems like a really weird
It actually
Pokemon.
clears out Viola's gym faster than any other available Pokemon can at this point. Not only this, but it's actually one of the few Pokemon you can receive this early on that'll be able to learn and use the move Swords Dance. So let me back up a little bit.
So you can go from 30 attack to 33.
Once we've beaten the first gym, we're gonna be heading straight into Lumio City in order to skate into Professor Sycamore's lab, beat up all of his Cantonian starters, then finally get access to either a Mega Blastoiseite, Charizardite, or Venusaurite, depending on which.
Oh, and you also need the XY versions of all of them, don't you? Or do you just need to get the versions that are in your game? I guess it isn't all Mega Stone speedrun, so do you need the opposite versions?
Kanto starter you keep. With one Megastone in hand, speedrunners will then head into a Pokemon Center to deposit Chespin and Squirtle.
By the way, the person behind my big dumb head is 4th Gen Gamer, who is another Pokemon speedrunner. It's kind of awkward that my big stupid moron face is in the way, but sorry about that,
We'll
Josh.
buy the team for Swords Dance extremely early on, then proceed into what I call Boring Land. Boring Land is filled with almost no battles, lots of dialogue, and some lovely fireworks in the daytime. Oh, you're
Yeah, like the first time you play through, it's fine. It's like, oh, you go into a rich man's mansion and you help the rich man, and he gives you like a TM in return. Why am I doing this? And then eventually you get the Pokeflute, and it's like, okay, cool. Now I have a Snorlax. That's great. Snorlax is cool and amazing and big. He can do a lot of things, and he's so big for us. True, but why do we get the
All
dog?
you really need to know about Boring Land in the context of a speedrun is that there are these important items called Sweethearts that you can get in your game on February 14th that help raise friendship that'll come up a bit later on. But for now,
Oh, and you can also fling it for 30 base power. Wow.
relevant section comes up after a tough rival double battle, since that'll be the spot where the next Megastone that we can receive is located. We'll first need to enter a Pokemon Center inside of Ambra Town, where you'll quickly learn that a certain NPC needs rescuing inside of Glittering Cave to the right of the city, which forces us on the back of a really slow Rhyhorn. You believe they race these things? Slow rides aside, the evil villains Team Flare are all over this cave and will be blocking your path to the scientist Fossil Man. Farfetch unfortunately does have a bit of a rough time here, but it's still pretty
Poison? Oh, no
fast
poison.
and consistent enough to clear the cave, save the fossil
Oh man, having to use a Farfetch at this point in the game just sounds like an absolute nightmare.
NPC, and finally access Aerodactylite for our efforts.
Okay, we got 2 now.
However,
Solid.
grabbing this Megastone now would actually slow speedruns down a bit, since we'll need to access Glittering Cave once we've completed the postgame. Sounds weird, right? But this order of events makes a lot more sense when you see how speedrunners get out of Glittering Cave as fast as possible. What speedrunners want to avoid is having to walk all the way back through the route. And
Do they purposely kill themselves?
instead die on purpose with a single
Yes! I mean, no, that's so sad, but like, yes, I got it right.
Farfetch in our party to teleport all the way back to the Pokemon Center. This Pokemon Center in particular is decently far away from the fossil lab that we would have to go into, which would take a longer journey to get in and out of now without a bicycle, making it faster to just go along the way once we need to access Glittering Cave for another Megastone later on. Now, luckily for the next Megastone, it's
So we're already an hour into the speed run, and we have about 2 Megastones, and you still have to finish the entire. This is gonna be a long one. It might be 8 hours, it might be more.
actually a free gift for making it past the 3rd gym leader, Corona. To get to and beat her optimally, speedrunners will need to upgrade their main Pokemon by catching a Hawlucha to clear out both Gym 2 and 3, since Farfetch can't
Okay, that makes way more sense. You have a Holucha that has Sword Stance. Oh, you're clearing up. That's
really
easy.
handle the Rock Gym on its own very well.
I just remembered that Holucha is actually Generation 6. Wow, that's so strange. I mean, it makes sense when I say it out loud, but it feels like Holucha has been around for much longer. Oh my god, wait, Next one was 11 years old. It's 11 years old. It's 11 years old.
In fact, the first thing we actually do upon battling the second gym leader is sacrifice our Farfetch in order to weaken the defense of the rock-type gym leader's lead Pokemon. One important thing to note about Hawlucha is we end up catching it in a luxury ball in order to boost all of the friendship points earned along the way. Things like overworld movement, massage.
Is friendship required for a Mega Stone?
Massages, sweethearts, X items, level ups, and vitamins.
X items? Vitamins? Okay, I get protein. You know, you get your milk, you got your bones grow stronger with the calcium. You know, that makes sense. The X items in the game, though, that's a bit weird. I wouldn't particularly like someone more if they gave me Omega steroids that are very, very temporarily used.
Need a bit of a boost to earn enough friendship points for later on. As an added bonus, Hawlucha learns the oh-so-useful Sword Sand CM we bought earlier, which gives it an easy path past Gym 2 and 3 before heading towards Shalor City's Mega Evolution Tower, where one more battle against the fighting gym leader Corona gets us a free Lucario main to swap to later on, a Mega Ring, and one more delicious Mega Stone just for Lucario.
All right, this just solos the entire game at this point,
The
right?
final Mega Stone before the...
I can't believe that this is bringing me back. We did an X and Y Wonder Nuzlocke, a Wonder Trade Nuzlocke with Luke. I did a versus with him back in the day, and we got each other on Wonder Trade. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I went to trade off my Mega Lucario. He traded like an Esper or something like that. We got each other at the same time. I gave him a Mega Lucario. Isn't that ludicrous? Isn't that ridiculous? I'm sorry, already looking at this video, it's 10 years old. Goodness me. 10 freaking years old.
I've got someone
10
called
years.
Luke.
Really?
Wait.
I've got someone. No way! No! Oh my god! Are you kidding me?
I gave him a Mega Lucario,
No!
and I got a freaking Esper.
This is bullshit!
Oh my god.
Fuck you!
That is like actually heartbreaking, completely heartbreaking to me. But anyway,
Post-game Megastones appear to us after another 3 glaringly long gym battles. The first battle will be against the grass gym leader Ramos, who's cleared quite easily with Hawlucha's super effective air moves. But in letting Hawlucha earn all the experience from gyms 2, 3, and 4, as well as using the items I mentioned earlier on
wait, did you say air moves?
Hawlucha, Speedruns will take a small detour backwards towards Comarine City for a chance at a Lucky Egg. The power a Lucky Egg brings
It's only
to
a chance?
speedrun is
Oh, that's why you need happiness, so you can get the lucky egg.
reasonably amazing with the extra EXP that you get in every battle the earlier that you can equip it, which makes it worth attempting to reach the nearly max friendship requirement to try and get it. And quite conveniently, this detour also gives us a prime opportunity to grab yet another Mega Stone before the post game. All we have
Also, Averosite is like way out of the way, too. You have to go sail on the 7 seas
to
to
do
this
is
one.
get out of the Lucky Egg building, like to the left of Comarine, avoid every single train
Why
up
is
the
Averosite
surfing route, then talk to
out in the Azure Bay, just with this random guy. Why does he have an Ampharosite of all things? Like maybe like a water Mega Evolution would make sense, but Ampharosite is just weird. There's no sheep around here. You're on the beach. You ever seen a sheep on the beach? You might have seen a sheep on the beach. Doesn't really happen very often though. They're usually in fields, you know, where the grass
a
is.
random old dude for access to Ampharosite before flying off, which brings us past the power plant to Lumio City, right through the 5th gym, and finally another rival fight on Route 14, which is exactly where speedrunners will find the best solution for receiving the next Megastone. Right at the end of this nasty swamp route, a certain Hex Maniac can be battled who happens to have a Haunter on our team. While battling does take a little bit of time to do, encountering a wild Haunter is extremely unreliable and just not really worth doing compared to going out of your way to fight this extra battle. We'll then
Oh, you need the Haunter for the Gengarites?
find ourselves straight into the next town, where a casual player of these games could go and grab the stone now with zero issues, but waiting until after the gym leader is beaten is a bit more optimal since it's closer to the mandatory visit we'll be taking to the Pokemon factory after the gym, making it the fastest way to earn a Gengarite. The rest of the Megastones, as I mentioned earlier, will be saved for the post
There's still so many. All of them are saved for the post game. There's so many. Wait, but isn't there a Mega Abomasnow that you can get like right now?
game. This is either because it's faster to wait and grab the stones later, or because they're locked behind the nasty Mega Bracelet upgrade requirements. And since the focus of this video is only really towards the
That's so weird. How does the Mega Bracelet upgrade work? So you have a Mega Bracelet only works on some Mega Evolutions? I guess that does make sense. Why would it only work on some Mega Evolutions? Either works or it doesn't work, right?
Megastone speedrun, I'll again recommend my XY speedrun video after this one if you'd like to learn how Lucario takes on everything from the 6th gym to the champion. So
Yeah, I feel like I know know how Lucario takes it on. He's a mega evolution with adaptability. He can even get Swords Dance. If he just gets Swords Dance, he clubs everything. Clubs everything with his bones. He's easily one of the strongest mega evolutions of all time. Stats are insane. It's super effective against Mega Gardevoir. It's super effective against the Mega Gyarados that, Super Saiyan Ginger has.
Starting after the credits, speedrunners will now find themselves back at home where our mom will tell us to go see the professor in Lumio City. Then once we walk outside, our rival Shauna will very desperately want to give us a Froakie egg, which we end up declining and fly away from her, leaving her stranded in front of our house forever. Now, the unfortunate reality of grabbing the rest of the Megastones is that a lot of the destinations that we need to go to will not even be remotely close to one another. And because it takes around 20 entire seconds to fly off from one location to another, speedrunners will need
20 seconds? God! I think I could fly to like Japan in like 14 hours. Oh, man, I was on a flight back from Japan. It took 15 hours. And you know what's worse? I know this is such a first world problem. Oh my God, white man go to Japan, then he gets sad when he comes back. Oh my goodness. The flight didn't have Wi-Fi. And I didn't realize that until the last second, so I didn't have anything downloaded it. So I basically raw dogged a 15-hour flight just using like podcasts that I just mysteriously had on my phone.
To minimize.
It wasn't very fun, all right? It's not nearly as fun as using code Patterrz at Gamer Subs to get money off your freaking Gamer Subs purchases, whether it's shaker cups, whether it's delicious flavors, caffeine and caffeine free, whether it's Gamer Tea. You can get Gamer Tea over there. Or whether it's merchandise that they have a lot of, you can get code Patterrz and you can save a lot of money.
The amount of times that they fly. Which brings us to the first flight in Lumio City in order to talk to the professor to get a train pass to the Battle Maison. We'll then need to win at least one battle inside of the Maison to get the first post-game Megastone. But the funny thing is about this battle is that most of the folks who've done a speedrun of this
There's the chest
have
fin.
actually struggled to one-shot the wimpiest of first-stage Pokemon that show up with a busted, over-leveled Lucario. With Lucario fearing for its life after a single battle, they now quit out of the Maison, earn an amazing 1, then battle it out with Callum on the north side of the Maison. Callum himself
The editor is doing a great job
is
here.
packing some pretty tough Pokemon, including a Mega Absol, which will be the next stone that we grab on our journey to grab them all. The next
Okay, so is he not using Mega Absol? He hasn't Mega Evolved. I guess because Mega Evolving is an animation that takes up a lot of time. I would assume the Mega Evolution animation takes up like at least 10 to 15 seconds.
Megastones that speedrunners want to grab will also be located at Lumio City. But since we need to fly anyways to
And
get
you buy
back
them.
to the city, it ends
Which means you have to grind money,
up
right?
being better to take the detour to Anastar City towards a really big fancy crystal in order to talk to the professor to upgrade the Mega Ring and earn the rest of the Megastone. From this point forward, it'll only take a total of 20 entire minutes for speedrunners to earn the rest of the Megastone, which lands us back
Oh, this is just the cleanup route now. Okay.
inside of Lumio City, where speedrunners completely ignore the Looker mission and will instead enter a cafe to trade a random Pokemon.
Come on, be honest. How many of you remember that there's a Looker mission? How many of you? I had forgotten until now.
Over to Diantha for Ralts, which earns us a free Gardevoir. Then with another small detour inside of Lumio City, speedrunners will then go inside of a store that sells fire, water, and grass stone. By then buying 25 of these stones in a row, one at a time, the old man on the left side of the room will lower the price of the 2 Cantonian Megastones that you don't have down from 1 million Pokédollars to 150,000 each, which makes
Okay, you know what? That's much more of a bargain. We love that.
Makes
Massive
it
reduction.
barely-
God, what a stupid, terrible business. 85% off? What is this, the Steam summer sale?
affordable for speedrunners. Crazy how things line up. But now with this being the last stone inside of Lumio City, speedrunners will then fly off to Snowbell City, head down through the forest, then surf up the left side of Pokemon Village into a cave to catch Mewtwo. This will either give you Mewtwoite X or Y, depending
Cell and Frieza? Okay, let's be honest. Cell is cooler than Frieza, right? Like design-wise? I don't know. I feel like Cell is cooler than Frieza.
on the game that we're playing. From here, the 3DS clock will need to be changed to the 20th hour before flying to the rest of the Megastones, since some of these stones spawn at a certain hour. The first stone on this 20th hour journey will be near Shalor City inside of Glittering Cave. Blocking our path will be an extremely underleveled Ace Trainer at level 26, who
Not to waste now, are we?
beats us? Not actually. Can you imagine Lucario at level 76 losing to this dude? Either way, thank Arceus for this
78 now,
lucky-
baby. 70 level 78 would never lose. Never. 76, it's tough. It's gonna lose. Level 78 would never lose.
Because nothing can stand in our way as we go super far downstairs in the cave where Alakazam will be waiting for us. Now, unfortunately for this next Megastone, speedrunners will have to take an L on extra flights to Snowbell City since the first Megastone will be located to the left of Victory Road. And excitingly, we get to fight yet another underlevel trainer blocking our path to a hidden
And another
cave below a
Lucario.
waterfall for Banette. Speedrunners will then head
That's what Banette is. It's in the Chamber of Emptiness. Oh no. So the Chamber of Emptiness relates to the emptiness that Banette feels inside itself after it was abandoned by its trainer, unleashing its true potential as a mega evolution. That's lore, baby. That's how it, that's the explanation. That's lore. That's the background. Do you feel sad? Yeah, do you feel sad for Banette yet?
outside of this cave, go all the way back up the waterfall to access Victory Road in order to reach the area where a battle against your rival Callum took place. It's a really neat location too that has you randomly rock smashing a stone slab, which is really weird, but it gets us access to Garchompite.
Why is Garchomp out there? That doesn't make, why? It's just next to a building. You just have to use Rock Smash. It's just there. I feel like they didn't really know what to do with most of these Megastones, so they're just like, it'd be kind of cool if one was here,
I have
right?
to say, I think this right here is probably my favorite Megastone because it really reminds me of the Sevi Islands where you use cut on a metal door in Fiery Leaf Green. You've already gotten used to cutting down trees with. Now,
Could have been a very good metal door if you could cut it
before I
down.
get too far in gushing about these cool little mechanics, we'll need to fly all the way to Koreway Town, then head south and to the right, which grants us access
See, that kind of makes sense. A Gyarados site in the middle of a triple waterfall. That's cool. That's thematic. That's I like that.
to Gyarados by talking to a waterfall. Then, as we mentioned way back early in the video, through
God, remember when everyone thought the Koroway Hotel or the Koroway Town train station was going to link to something? There was going to be like DLC, and there was going to be like a Kalos DLC with Scarlet and Violet, or there's going to be a Kalos DLC with Galar because you can take a train from France to England. You can do that. Everyone thought the train was going to go there. It always seems like nothing that the community thinks is going to happen actually ends up happening.
pure optimization, the next two Megastones in a row will be in Amber Town, which means we can now bike into the fossil lab for Aerodactylites, then head straight into the Glittering Cave for a super accessible Kangaskhanite. Now, if I had to give a top 10 ranking on how speedrunners are routing these things all together, I think first place would actually be our trip into Dendemil Town, where speedrunners will be grabbing 3 Megastones in a row. The first and second Megastones will be above Dendemil Town inside of Frost Cavern, where speedrunners will perform the most gamer movement ever in the version
Don't you... Is this an after game thing? Do you not need to do this during the game? Do you really not get this until after game? I'm really forgetting how like X and Y is formatted now.
Scizor or Heracross Eye
And there's a scissor right there as well. Oh, sorry. So you get two at the same time.
before
Okay.
escape roping out. Then surprisingly enough, biking all the way back to Dendemil Town is a little bit faster than flying. And with a really quick detour, we can grab a Manectite on the route to the left. For the final
Which is just like in the street.
4 flights, speedrunners head to Camfrey Town for Mawalite, a trip to Laviri Town for
Oh, wait, so you stole. Wait, hold on. That's stealing, isn't it? Hold on. That's someone's house. Isn't that someone's house? Isn't it like a museum or something? You don't just take that. Because someone call police? That's a priceless artifact. There's only one in the entire country.
Metachamite, Aquacord for Pincerite, and finally end it all in Salage City for Tyranitarite inside of the gym.
But isn't that stealing too? That is someone's. I would imagine. That's got to be the gym leader's. Maybe you just dropped it. You just yoink that?
Tyranitarite makes the most sense to get last since we can't exactly escape rope out of the gym and would have to climb all the way back down if we wanted to get in and out. Which are
Wow, they're really thinking about the specific seconds that you can save here. God, I love speedrunning so specific about all of this.
speedrunners all of
5 hours, just under 5 hours to collect every single
the
Megastone.
Pokemon X and Y Megastones that are not part of an event that require online features. Now,
Oh, and you also don't need to get the other version exclusives, I would
some
imagine.
people might complain in the comments that this isn't all the Megastones, but adding some of these limited time events to a Pokemon speedrun would just give someone an unfair advantage based off of the time that they played the game, especially considering that 3DS games won't have online features for very long. It's a truly sad
Oh yeah, they shut that down. That is so
reality. But
sad
after this
too.
video, speedrunners can at least get all the Megastones from the start of the game to the post game in a total of 4 hours and 26 minutes.
Wow, is that the world record? Wow, impressive stuff. All right, well, that is how to become the greatest Megastone collector of all time. I love these kind of special little weird speedruns that are a little out there, a little bit different, a little bit unique, a little bit special. And if you want to see more unique special things, you can also subscribe to Pulse Effects, whose link will be in the description. And if you want to see some unique and special things, you can subscribe to me as well.